Riding High with Ray Sinatra and his orchestra, featuring radio's brightest stars, Alice May, the Landt Trio, and the comic headliners, Wall and Lubin. The orchestra opens the program with "'Cause My Baby Says It's So" from the Singing Marines. This evening we present one of New York's most popular models, Margaret Horan, the girl of many faces, and I might add, all of them beautiful. Miss Horan, please tell us something about your work.
I'm glad you appreciate that it is work, Mr. Havrilla, for in the studios here we do not have stand-ins, as they do in Hollywood. After the art director has spent many minutes to get us posed exactly as he wants the picture, and the electricians have arranged the Kliegs and the 400s, after all the necessary changes are made under the light and the camera is focused, then the photographer says, "Moisten your lips, please, a nice smile. Now hold it." That moment is no time for a tremble from fatigue or a lack of breath control. So we models must keep physically fit, not only for appearance sake, but also that we may be able to hold it. I find it's fun to keep fit on a bicycle. And so you'll always see me riding my bike on the cycle path in Central Park every afternoon at 4 o'clock.
Thank you, Miss Horan. You know, I have an idea there'll be lots of spectators along the mall from now on, and the number of riders will undoubtedly increase. And by the way, here's some flowers for you. See, the Landt Trio bring you chrysanthemums.
The language of the flowers is a lovely thing to learn. And as children we took up this pretty tongue. La, 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 la. So we studied hours and hours memorizing names in turn. But we got to one and stopped. And there we hung. Me, 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 me. Now in every other study say our diction is immense. Why should a little flower hold us back? It don't make sense. We can say Ticonderoga, we can say a prayer in yoga, we can even say I love you in Chinese. We can say we're in the money, which is very, very funny, but somehow we simply cannot say
Chris and Snathrium. Crass and Snithium?
No, that's not it.
Chris and Rathathlium.
No. It's those big yellow flowers.
Yeah. We can say Constantinople, we can say a pearl's an opal, though we know it isn't, so we're not so dumb. We can even say let's kiss to a girl in mountain Swiss, but we simply cannot say chrysanthemum.
Hey, we said it.
What do you know?
We sure
said
said
it.
it. Oh, after all these years, now what do you think of that?
You said it.
What do you mean? We all said it.
Oh, sure enough. Then that's not all we can say. We can say...
Evanescent, acquiescent, astrological, diabolical, psychological, pedagogical, eucalyptus, irresistible, syllogism, theoretical, metabolism, alphabetical, anachronism, hypothetical. Now, diversification, peregrination, multiplication, mystification, transmogrification, tintinabulation. Wow! We can say magnanimosity, though the words that are monstrosity, even say let's have another more than some. And we find today at last that our one-word troubles past, since we finally learned to say
chrysanthemum.
No.
Wait a minute now. A cranthumcitum?
Oh, you missed it.
Don't worry, boys. I've got it.
What is it?
Crumsnithersnathum. Oh, well, you know, folks. A dandelion's grandfather.
Yeah, we lost it again.
We can still say pickboard crackers with a big mouthful of crackers, and we guarantee to never lose a crumb. But as you've already heard, we're three chumps for just one word. For we simply cannot say chrysanthemum.
Each a headliner in his own right, we present Swar and Lubin, who are in the midst of a very heated discussion. We are not too sure just what they are arguing about, but we are sure that when they are finished, you'll be just as convinced as we are. Swar and Lubin.
Say, what's the matter with you? Is you gone plumb crazy? It seems like I can't take you out no place lately. You don't make a monkey out of both of us. And it seems to me like as much as I know, and as little as you know, the first thing I know, you'll have me knowing as less as you know, as much as I know, and what I want to know, how much of that does you know? Well, Oh, shut up. You see, you don't know. If I ever tied up with you, I can't understand to save my life. Boy, let me tell you something. When I first met you, I had two of everything. Now look at me. I ain't got one of nothing. And whose fault is it? Whose fault is it? Answer me the question, whose fault is it? Well, Oh, shut up. It's my own fault. Running around with you lying and telling folks the way you did out there in that argument a while ago. I look around and thought you was right behind me, and you ended that argument. Why don't you keep your... You got your big mouth there. Why don't you keep your big mouth shut? Well, Oh, shut up. Them people out there, they arguing about the overproduction and economy. You know nothing about overproduction and economy now, does you? Well, You see, you don't know. Then why don't you keep out of that argument out there? Well, Now, don't tell me that. Now, stick to the question. You don't know a thing about economy. Who don't?
You don't.
Man, economy is
what?
Is what?
Well,
No, it ain't that at all. Now, I'll tell you. Economy is, and I'll explain it to you. Now, listen here, son. Supposing I got me a big field of radishes. Now, I want to take my radishes to the market. And for economy's sake, I comes over and I borrows your horse.
Yeah, but I ain't got no horse.
I know you just got a horse, for instance.
Yeah, but I'd rather have him for riding because
I know Oh, shut up. I know you'd rather have him for riding. Now, listen. I come over and I borrow your horse to take my radishes to the market. And for the use of your horse, I gives you radishes. Now, what is that?
Sounds like a lot of horseradish to me.
How can a man live and be as dumb as that?
Yeah, but
Now, shut up. I'll explain it now so maybe I'll understand it. Now, listen here. We send wheat to Russia. And in return, Russia sends us caviar.
Yeah, what is that? What is that?
Well, that's roe.
Yeah, roll what?
A row of eggs.
Do they have to put them in a roll?
Roe is fish eggs.
Yeah, but
Oh, shut up. Can't you understand nothing? It's just like the Chinese. The Chinese, they send us rice, tea, and silk. And in return, what does we send to the Chinese?
Dirty laundry?
Oh, we don't send them dirty.
Well, I will send my shirt to the
laundry. Oh, shut up. You dirty laundry. You talking about dirty laundry. I'm talking about countries with which we have trade relations.
Yeah, but that's what I'd like to do.
You like to do what?
Trade relations?
Oh.
Yeah, I'd like to take my mother-in-law for...
shut up with you, your mother-in-law. I'm talking about the economy. What has your mother-in-law got to do with economy?
Well, she always talks on that economy business.
Your mother-in-law talks on economy?
Yeah, on economy, not going to work.
Oh, how can a man be so dumb? I'm talking about economy to the relief.
The what?
To the relief.
Oh, I didn't know what you were talking about. I know all about that.
Oh, you does, huh?
Oh, yeah, I know all about that.
All right, then wait a minute. You're so smart, then answer me this. What would be the biggest relief for the people right now?
Well,
Go on, tell me.
Well,
you see, you don't know.
Yeah, I does know. I know what it is.
Well, what is it then? What is it?
Well, the biggest relief to the people would be
what?
The biggest relief to the people would
be what?
Would be for you and I to get off of here and stop this messing around.
All right, then. Come on.
Carelessly, featuring Ray Sinatra at the piano, Trust in Me, sung by Alice May, the little girl with the big voice, and There's a Lull in My Life, make up our tune cycle for this evening. There's a Lull in My Life is from that picture, Wake Up and Live, which stars the friendly enemies, Ben Burney and Walter Winchell.
Have the faith I have in you. Love will see us through if only you trust in me. Come to me when things go wrong. Cling to me and I'll be strong. We can get along as long as you trust in me. While there's a moon on high, while there's a bird to fly, while there's a you and I, you can be sure I love you. Stand beside me all the while. Face the future with a smile. Trust in me and I'll be worthy of you.
Beauty must be cultivated. A clear complexion and a perfect figure are testimony of glowing health. And the essence of radiant health is proper exercise in the open air. Bicycling is the best all-around exercise. It combines health-making with exhilarating pleasure. Keep fit and you won't keep fat. There are beautiful places to ride right near your own home. If you are not familiar with them, telephone your bicycle store, and they'll tell you where you can enjoy the thrill of breezing along on your bike. Make cycling a regular habit, and you'll be riding high. Ray Sinatra and his orchestra will be with you again next Thursday at the same time, presenting our guest stars, Morton Bow, famous NBC tenor, and the Norsemen, radio's distinctive male quartet. You're only as good as your legs. Your announcer is Alois Havrilla. This program is brought to you by the Cycle Trades of America. This is the Blue Network of the National Broadcasting Company.